Hi there farmers, and a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening from wherever you're watching us from. As you can see again, I'm making this video from the farm. As you can see, there has been raining here, and there's some water that's flooded here right at this pathway. And this video is specifically to let you know how you can grow your Sukumawiki to have giant leaves and generally good health. And I'm going to just give you 5 pointers that have been very crucial in our garden, in our farm here, that have enabled us to produce Sukumawiki that have very huge leaves that can constantly produce. You constantly harvest you every week. For instance, this week we've delivered more than 35 kilograms of Sukumawiki, and you can see the last day I harvested was yesterday. And when you look at the leaves, they don't look harvested because they are able to regenerate very quickly. One of the most important points to consider is land preparation. Land preparation, as you can see, I've mentioned earlier that we use raised beds here. And the thing is, when you plant your Sukumawiki high up, they are able to grow their roots quite deep. And even in cases that we do not have enough rainfall, you can see here it's already flooding with just around even 5 millimeters of rain. But when you use raised beds, even when it's not raining, they are able to go down and fetch for themselves water the deepest they can. That's one of the main reasons. Again, the benefit of raising beds is that you're able to easily manage your crop. Let's assume, for example, that we have planted them on a flat surface all over. We would not have congested them like we have in our beds here. We've congested them. They are quite congested. We could have used a huge spacing. And again, when I'm harvesting or applying manure or doing any practice on the farm, I'll have to step right in between the crops. When you do that, you compact the ground. You make it very hard. You make it very hard for water to percolate inside. You make it very hard for organisms to live or to just drill their way in the soil. So when you minimize disturbance by using raised beds, you make the crop even itself be able to grow its root very easily and as efficient as possible. The second and a very important point is the age of your seedlings. I hear most farmers prefer to plant seedlings that are around 1 month, but it really depends on the species. When you look at your seedling and at 1 month it looks quite weak, you're not supposed to transplant it. However much your transplant practice is effective, do not transplant it. Plant it at the age that you're guaranteed that it's not going to turn back. When you plant it, it's not going to wither off and grow new leaves. The leaves that you planted it with, they are going to regenerate and grow themselves huge. I'd recommend when the crop at the seed bed has around 6 to 8 true leaves, not the bud, but true leaves. When you plant it at that age, it does not have to kurudi nyuma. It does not have to kurudi nyuma. It continues to grow as it was in the seed bed. That's very, very, very important, because the crop you're looking at here is less than 40 days old. Yet we have harvested and it still looks strong, having harvested it consistently. The third point is pest control. Pest control is very, very, very crucial. But before we get to pest control, let me mention fertilization as my third point. And fertilization is not the application of fertilizers. Fertilization goes beyond just applying nutrients to the crop. One thing, fertilization has to be effected through weeding. You have to remove weeds. Whenever you see weeds growing, they are suppressing your crops of the necessary nutrients. So whenever you come to harvest or whenever you are gardening, you have to make sure that you pluck those weeds off. That's a very important point in fertilization. Again, the application of organic manure. When you're planting, I advise most farmers do not use inorganic manure, because what that does, it first of all kills microorganisms in your soils. But when you apply organic manure, it does not just fertilize your crop, it also facilitates the existence of microorganisms in your soil. Remember, Sukumawiki and spinach, they do not have really those huge roots. The roots are very fibrous, hairy-like, and they need organic or organisms in the soil that are going to drill and percolate in the soil, because they use them to breathe as well and make that soil very, very percolated and air circulation effective in it. The other benefit of organic manure is is the retention of water. When you apply organic manure, for instance, let me show you. This is matter that is from organic manure. As you can see, it's matter that is from organic manure. And when you apply it, you can as well point to here. When you look at this compost, it has a lot of organic matter in it. And the benefit of this is that it holds on water. For instance, let me just press this. You can see it's mud because it holds water. And even if I was to come here after 3 to 4 days, it will have still been the same. Let me show you another thing that I just mentioned. You can see there is an earthworm here, right in this compost. This is what enables your crop to breathe. And even if right here, even if roots were to emerge from this crop here, they will easily breathe because there is this organism here. I was on point number 3. The point number 4 is pest control. Pest control should be consistent. If you're using inorganic pesticides, make it consistent. I mean, don't do it every week, but just make it predictable. Don't do it haphazardly. Just for instance, on our garden, those 2 lines on that side, we have applied pesticides on that side. And because we know we're not going to be harvesting that for the next 7-10 days, we leave these other crop for harvesting. And it will be the same because the next place we apply pesticide are these 2 rows, then the next 2, and the last one on that side. Make it consistent and predictable. That's the only way you're going to control pests effectively. Pest control also goes hand in hand with weeding, because these weeds are the ones that hold and host pests. As in addition to the leaves of your crop that are sitting on the ground, they facilitate the existence of pests. So you have to constantly weed them, and do not leave them like I've left them on the farm. You have to throw them away, because if the disease was in this this weed, it will continue living on your farm. The last thing is constant harvesting. You know, the only way to encourage Sukumawiki to grow back is when you pluck out or you continually harvest the lower leaves. That encourages it to always regenerate new leaves and grow huge with time. It also assures you that it's going to be on your farm for as long as you want, because you're in control of it. You do not harvest this week, next week you do not harvest. But it really depends on what you choose. If you've applied pest control, just make it predictable so that your harvesting can also be predictable and effective. That will encourage your crop to grow back and regenerate. So thank you so much, and don't forget to give us your feedback. Like this video, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.